Hey, welcome back to another video. Now we're about to give it up to my girl Jasmine Crockett again. Claps back at MAGA Stooge's mass deportation rant. Let's get him, Jazz. Let's get it. Let's go. Love this. I love this woman.
What the American public needs to understand and what we know is that 77 million people voted for exactly what President Trump is executing right now. The vote outrage from the left.
No, they didn't. 77%. You know, like, it's funny because a good percentage of the people that they voted to get the border under control, definitely. But what they didn't vote for was somebody's visa running, like somebody who's working and their visa goes bad. And they go to get their visa renewed and they're being deported. A friend of mine just told me that that happened to somebody who was doing all the landscaping in the neighborhoods that he's in, and he got deported because his visa went bad. Nobody voted for that. No one voted for that. I didn't vote for Trump at all. Point blank period. I voted for Kamala. I'm just playing. It's bragging rights at this point because everything that's going on. But no, we didn't vote for mass deportations of people who are living here and just trying to exist here, who aren't doing anything wrong. Nobody voted for mass deportations of those kind of people. No one did that. I don't care. Well, maybe some did, but I think the majority of Trump supporters just wanted to get some control, some type of regulation over immigration that's fair. And what they're noticing is that these mass deportations are seeming to be unfair right now. But let's keep going.
Continues to ignore the damage that has been done to our country and people that are literally maiming our fellow Americans while we have done nothing and we stood by idly. We are now acting and behaving in a way that enforces the law. This is not xenophobia. This is the way and the process that it takes to enter a sovereign nation, and we at the federal government must protect that.
It pisses me off that he's a black face saying this because, oh, it's not xenophobia. So why do we let in what, 100 white Africans and white South Africans, but we won't let in anyone else of color? We're trying to throw people out of color or are brown, and we let in 100 South Africans? We deny access to everywhere else in places where there are literal genocides going on. And we let in South Africans. The people, some of the people that believed in this, or the people specifically in office right now, are showing xenophobia. 1,000%. It is xenophobia, my guy. I hate that you're the one speaking too, because you know better.
I am somebody that has deployed all over the world. No other country operates this way. There is not a single country in the world that would allow 20 million people to enter their country illegally. And then when we do something about it, we then cry xenophobia.
Thank you so much. It's interesting that we're being accused of wanting all kinds of criminals to be on the streets, or that we don't believe that people should show up to their meetings and appointments. Last time I checked, there's a lot of people that are actually being grabbed as they are going in for their appointments. In fact,
Exactly. Oh my God, that's why I love this woman. Yes, there are people being grabbed at their appointments. Like, is this not making it more of a reason for people to go into hiding? Okay, I want to make something clear too. People talk about how Obama deported so many people. You know what's funny? If you go research it, what Obama did was technically, if you come into the country, right? Not even come into the country. If you're at the border and you're trying to get into the country and you get deported from the border and you get removed from the border, that's technically considered deportation. Majority of 3 million people are people trying to enter into the U.S. He blocked from coming in. He didn't do these mass deportations in city to city that Trump is doing. That's the mega difference between what's happening. And Obama also offered many incentive programs for people to come out and be able to come out from being in the shadows and become a citizen. Pay a fine, but become a citizen. Obama offered those ways. Trump's not offering any of that. The people who came in legally through Biden are now like being revoked of their citizenship and on a process of being in deportation. This is terrible. Get him, Jasmine.
know that one of the candidates that was recently running in this mayoral, he ended up being arrested because he decided that he was actually going to escort people that are actually showing up to their meetings. Or we know that the Pope, yes, the Pope himself decided that the church may need to have people that are going to escort people as they're going into their meetings. Because the reality is that what they are claiming what they want to do versus what they're actually doing, the actions don't match up. And while we are supposed to be talking about visas, somehow we continue to cherry pick and talk about one criminal act and another criminal act. And it is so very interesting to me that, yes, we will say people are xenophobic, because when you start to decide that just because somebody came from another country, they are automatically some kind of criminal, that does sound kind of xenophobic to me, because you are using a paintbrush to paint an entire group of people where the vast majority of them are coming here because they are actually seeking a better life.
Exactly.
Let me
get them, girl. Oh, I love Jasmine. She getting them. I love this girl. I love this woman, man. I love this woman, man.
What this hearing is supposed to be about. The idea that Trump and my Republican colleagues want to restore integrity and security in the visa process is actually a joke. Let me be clear. Integrity is not snatching lawful visa holders off the streets and throwing them into unmarked vans. Integrity is not revoking visas based on social media posts that hurt somebody's little feelings because kids decide that they want to go after Trump or this administration. We have a thing called free speech in this country. And since we're talking about integrity, I'm confused as to why my Republican colleagues aren't talking about the lack of integrity when it comes to the president's family's visas. Let me remind y'all that Melania, the first lady, a model, and when I say model, I'm not talking about Tyra Banks, Cindy Crawford, or Naomi Campbell level, applied for and was given an EB-1 visa. And what that stands for is an Einstein visa. Now, y'all that don't know, let me tell you how you receive an Einstein visa. You're supposed to have some sort of significant achievement, like being awarded a Nobel Peace Prize or a Pulitzer, being an Olympic medalist, or having other sustained extraordinary abilities and success in sciences, arts, education, business, or athletics. Last time I checked, the First Lady had none of those accolades under her belt. It doesn't take an Einstein to see that the math ain't mathin' here. Nevertheless, what Republicans are doing with this reconciliation process, the travel bans and revoking visas, jeopardizes our national security. It threatens our communities, our higher education, and our economy. Visas like the largely vetted J visas for higher education and M visas for trade, training, attract the next innovators, medical providers, researchers, and educators that we need to build on American success.
That's why we became #1. People don't realize, like, why, oh my God, we cannot isolate our country. The reason why we became #1 is because we were open to immigrants. We allowed people with different ideas to come into this country and create better for this country. The Springfield Haitians that everybody keep talking shit about, getting on my fucking nerves, but everybody keep talking shit about. The Springfield Haitians that came in helped build that community. That community wasn't doing good at all until the Haitians came in. Now it's doing a lot better. We need other groups of people. We're not even birthing that high in America anymore. There aren't any ideas being created in America anymore. And that's why China is getting close to surpassing us. And I think India is on par to surpass us at a certain point. Like, people say China has strict regulations, but I actually looked into what, like, it gets to get into China, and it's not really as strict as people think it is. Anyone can get in. It's just what do you give to their economy, and that's what we should be doing too. And they're opening the door more, because now a lot of Chinese people look. Now I don't want to say too much, but I know what the Chinese people are doing with Africans in Africa, and they're on par to be the next superpower. But we're falling behind by doing all the shit we're doing. Trump is actually putting us backwards, but people don't realize that yet. Till we go backwards.
I'm not gonna mess up your name, so I'm not doing that. But I'm with you, okay? In your experience, do individuals on J or M visas typically improve or impair our economy?
They generally improve the economy, and I can give a brief example. My wife is a very successful woman. She makes a ton of money, which I'm grateful for. And the reason why we're able to do that while having 3 children is because of the au pair visa, somebody who is here on a J, who is here and able to supply this for us. But I also want to defend Melania real quick. Not everybody could marry Donald Trump, and I think that's quite an achievement. So I think she deserves credit for that. Nobody up here could have done it.
You sure right, I couldn't do it. But anyway, in fact, J visa holders contribute $43.8 billion to the U.S. economy and support more than 300,000 jobs. And make no mistake, immigrants improve the health of U.S. citizens too. Despite the fact we already have a doctor shortage, Trump's reckless travel ban and visa overhaul are exacerbating this crisis by impairing hundreds of hospitals with foreign-trained doctors set to do their residencies here in the United States, meaning fewer people will get the help they need and more people will die. Now, let me remind you that Republicans are trying to gut Medicaid. Roughly 4.5 million people receive caregiver services through Medicaid, and most of these folks are in red states. And wouldn't you know, that in 2023, Kaiser Family Foundation estimated that almost 30% of long-term care providers or home caretakers were immigrants. It's like Republicans want Americans to suffer. Now, Republicans say visas make us less secure, but let's talk about how visas given to victims of crimes like rape, murder, human trafficking, torture, abduction, kidnapping, to help law enforcement with their investigation or prosecutions of these crimes. These folks are risking their own security for broader safety of Americans and our communities. Thank you, sir.
Get it, Jazz. Dropping gems, dropping gems, dropping gems. You know what? I think I'm about to turn a lot of people into Democrats. Like, this administration is going to turn a lot of people into Democrats. Just wait. The midterm election is going to say so fucking much. It's going to say so fucking much, man. But you need this. You need this shaking up every now and then. When things are going good because the Democrats fix everything and the Republicans come in and mess up everything, you need that little shaking up for a little bit. But this time, it's all on camera. We all can clearly see it. It's not like the Reagan administration where the fucking up took generations for us to see the fuck up in it. It's like we're all looking at it right now and we're seeing it firsthand. So I love this right now. But anyways, y'all, I'm out. Peace.